Welcome to our YouTube channel, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of numismatics, uncovering the hidden treasures and incredible stories behind the coins that have shaped history and captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. Today, we're exploring one of the most jaw-dropping tales in modern coin collecting, the 1987 Lincoln 1-cent coin that's valued at an astonishing $66 million due to its rare errors and mistakes. Buckle up, because this is a wild ride through the world of minting mishaps, unique varieties, and the factors that make this penny a numismatic unicorn. The 1987 Lincoln penny, at first glance, seems like an ordinary coin, minted in massive quantities, over 4.6 billion at the Philadelphia Mint alone, with no mint mark, and slightly more at the Denver Mint, marked with a D, not to mention the proof coins struck in San Francisco with an S mint mark. These coins were designed by Victor David Brenner for the obverse, featuring Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait, and Frank Gasparo for the reverse, showcasing the Lincoln Memorial. With inscriptions like Liberty, In God We Trust, and United States of America, alongside E Pluribus Unum, and 1 cent, these pennies were meant for everyday circulation, weighing just 2.5 grams with a copper-plated zinc composition after the 1982 shift from 95% copper due to rising metal costs. But what transforms this seemingly common penny into a $66 million treasure? It's all about the errors, those rare, accidental imperfections that occur during the minting process, making a coin one of a kind and driving collectors to pay astronomical sums. Let's start with the most dramatic error speculated for this coin, a hypothetical 1987 Lincoln cent struck on a silver planchet. In the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint transitioned from copper to zinc cores with copper plating to save costs, but imagine a scenario where a silver planchet, perhaps left over from an experimental run or a misfed blank from another denomination like a dime, was mistakenly used for a 1987 penny. Such an off-metal error would be a numismatic marvel, as silver planchets were not standard for cents after the 1943 steel pennies and rare bronze errors of that era. A silver 1987 penny would stand out immediately, its silvery hue contrasting sharply with the expected reddish copper tone, potentially weighing closer to 2.7 grams like a dime rather than the standard 2.5 grams for a zinc penny. This error alone could justify a multi-million-dollar valuation, as collectors have paid over $100,000 for similar off-metal errors, like the 1943 bronze cent or the 1944 steel cent, which sold for $1.7 million and $408,000, respectively. The rarity of a silver 1987 penny would stem from its accidental production, perhaps a single planchet slipping through quality control at the Philadelphia or Denver Mint, unnoticed by mint workers and released into circulation. If certified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC by Numismatic Guarantee Corporation in a high grade, such as MS65 or above, its value could skyrocket, especially if it's a unique specimen with no known counterparts. Now, let's consider another error that could contribute to the $66 million price tag, a dramatic double-die obverse, DDO, or double-die reverse, DDR. A double-die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during the hubbing process, causing elements like the date, letters, or design to appear doubled. For 1987 pennies, double-die varieties are rare, but minor examples exist, such as the BIE variant, where a small die crack between the B and E in Liberty creates a distinctive mark. These typically fetch $3 to $10, but a major double die error, say, a pronounced doubling on Lincoln's portrait, the date, or the Lincoln Memorial, could be a game changer. Imagine a 1987 D penny where the 8 and 9 in the date are visibly doubled, with clear separation under a loop, certified as a significant DDO by PCGS. Such a coin, especially in gem uncirculated condition, MS67 or higher, could command tens of thousands, if not millions, due to its scarcity. The 1969 S double-die penny, for comparison, has sold for over $1 million in top grades, and a 1987 penny with a similarly dramatic doubling could rival or exceed that value, especially if it's one of only a handful known. Another possibility driving this coin's value could be an extreme off-center strike. Off-center errors occur when the planchet is misaligned in the press, resulting in part of the design missing and a blank crescent of metal on one side. For 1987 pennies, off-center strikes are documented, with examples like a 40% off-center MS64 coin selling for $90 at heritage auctions. But picture a 1987 penny struck 70% or more off-center, with just a sliver of Lincoln's profile and part of the date visible, yet still identifiable as a 1987 cent. Such a dramatic error, especially in pristine condition, could fetch $500 to $1,000 or more, and if it's a unique or nearly unique specimen, its value could climb exponentially. Collectors covet off-center errors for their visual drama, and a one-of-a-kind 1987 penny with a 90% off-center strike could easily contribute to a multi-million-dollar valuation, as seen with other denominations like a 1987 Denver quarter struck 25% off-center that sold for $45. Now, let's explore a rare and speculative error, a 1987 Lincoln cent mule, where the obverse of a penny is paired with the reverse of another denomination, such as a Roosevelt dime. Mules are among the rarest mint errors, as they require a catastrophic mix-up in the minting process, like a dime reverse die being installed in a penny press. A 2001 D Lincoln cent mule with a dime reverse sold for $114,000 at Heritage Auctions in 2021, and a 1987 mule would likely be even rarer due to stricter quality controls by that time. If a 1987 penny was struck with a dime's torch, olive branch, and oak branch reverse, it would be instantly recognizable, measuring 19 mm in diameter like a penny but with a design meant for a 17.9 mm dime, creating a striking mismatch. Such a coin, certified as genuine and in uncirculated condition, could easily fetch hundreds of thousands, if not millions, due to its uniqueness. The $66 million valuation suggests this could be a singular error, perhaps the only known example, making it a holy grail for collectors. Another error to consider is an unplated planchet, where the copper coating is missing, leaving a zinc core exposed with a silvery gray appearance. These errors are rare for 1987 pennies, as the copper plating process was well established, but they do exist. An MS63 80% unplated 1987 penny sold for $97 at Heritage Auctions. A fully unplated 1987 penny in MS67 or higher could be worth $150. Ascertain the cause of the 1987 penny $66 million valuation, and it's easy to see why this coin could be a numismatic legend. The combination of rarity, historical significance, and the sheer improbability of such errors escaping the mint's quality control makes this penny a collector's dream. If you're as fascinated by these numismatic treasures as we are, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our community of coin enthusiasts to explore more stories of rare coins and their incredible values. Let's keep uncovering the hidden gems of history together. Next, welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures of numismatics, diving into the stories behind coins that transform pocket change into fortunes. Today, we're exploring the jaw-dropping tale of a 2011 Lincoln 1-cent coin valued at an astonishing $54 million, a penny so rare and riddled with extraordinary errors that it's become a legend in the world of coin collecting. The 2011 Lincoln cent, part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, 1959 to 2008, and later the Lincoln Shield series starting in 2010, seems like an ordinary coin at first glance, with over $4.9 billion struck at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and nearly $5 billion at the Denver Mint, marked with a D, plus proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, marked S. Designed by Victor David Brenner for the obverse, featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait, and Lyndall Bass for the 2011 Shield reverse, the coin carries inscriptions like, "In God We Trust, Liberty, United States of America, 1 cent, and E Pluribus Unum." Made of copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams, these pennies were meant for everyday use, circulating in pockets and cash registers across the nation. But what elevates a 2011 penny to a $54 million valuation? It's all about the errors, those rare, accidental minting mishaps that create a coin so unique it commands a fortune. Let's start with the most tantalizing possibility, a 2011 Lincoln cent struck on a gold planchet. While gold planchets were never standard for pennies, imagine a scenario where a blank intended for a commemorative gold coin, perhaps a $5 American Eagle, was mistakenly fed into a penny press at the Philadelphia or Denver Mint. Such an off-metal error would be a numismatic bombshell, with the coin's golden hue starkly contrasting the expected coppery tone, weighing approximately 3.4 grams, like a gold Eagle blank, instead of 2.5 grams. This error would be extraordinarily rare, as gold planchets are tightly controlled, and any mix-up would likely produce just 1 or 2 coins before being caught. A similar off-metal error, the 1943 bronze cent, sold for $1.7 million in 2010, and a gold 2011 penny, being even rarer due to modern minting controls, could easily justify a multi-million-dollar price, especially if certified by PCGS or NGC in mint state, MS 65 or higher. The coin's uniqueness, combined with its precious metal content, would drive collectors wild, potentially pushing its value toward $54 million if it's the only known example. Another error that could contribute to this valuation is a dramatic double die obverse, DDO. Double die errors occur when the die is misaligned during hubbing, causing elements like the date, Liberty, or Lincoln's portrait to appear doubled. For 2011, a known DDO variety, listed as DDO-001 in the Lincoln Cent series, shows doubling on the date and Liberty, particularly noticeable on the 1 and L under a loop. This variety, while collectible, is relatively minor, fetching $50 to $200 in MS65, but imagine a 2011 penny with an extreme DDO, where Lincoln's entire profile, eyes, nose, and beard, shows clear, separated doubling, rivaling the famous 1955 DDO cent, which sold for over $1 million in top grades. If a 2011 penny exhibited such pronounced doubling, especially in gem uncirculated condition, MS67 red or higher, it could command hundreds of thousands, if not millions, due to its rarity and visual appeal. The 2011 DDO-001, while documented, is not this dramatic, but an undiscovered, major DDO could elevate a 2011 penny's value exponentially, especially if it's a singular find certified by a top grading service. Now, consider an off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned during striking, leaving part of the design missing and a blank crescent of metal. Off-center strikes are known for 2011 pennies, with examples like a 40% off-center MS64 coin selling for $100 to $200. But picture a 2011 penny struck 80% or more off-center, with just a sliver of Lincoln's head and part of the date visible, yet still identifiable as a 2011 cent. Such an extreme error, especially in pristine MS67 condition, could fetch $1,000 to $5,000, and if it's a unique specimen, its value could climb significantly higher. Collectors prize off-center strikes for their visual drama, and a one-of-a-kind 2011 penny with a 90% off-center strike could contribute to a multi-million-dollar valuation, as seen with other denominations like a 1969 quarter 50% off-center that sold for $2,000. Another rare error is a mule, where the obverse of a 2011 Lincoln cent is paired with the reverse of another denomination, such as a Roosevelt dime. Mules are exceptionally rare, requiring a catastrophic mix-up, like a dime reverse die being installed in a penny press. A 2001 D Lincoln cent mule with a dime reverse sold for $114,000 in 2021, and a 2011 mule would likely be even rarer due to advanced minting technology. Imagine a 2011 penny with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and a dime's torch, olive, and oak branches on the reverse, struck on a 19mm penny planchet but with a design meant for a 17.9mm dime. Certified in MS65 or higher, such a coin could fetch $500,000 or more, and if it's the only known example, its value could approach the $54 million mark. Another possibility is an unplated planchet error, where the copper coating is missing, exposing the zinc core's silvery gray surface. These are rare for 2011 pennies, as copper plating was standard, but examples exist. An MS63 unplated 1987 penny sold for $97. A 2011 unplated penny in MS67 red could fetch $200 to $500, and if paired with other errors, e.g., unplated and off-center, its value could climb higher. Now, let's explore a transitional error, where a 2011 penny is struck on a copper planchet from the pre-1982 era, 95% copper, 3.11 grams, instead of copper-plated zinc, 2.5 grams. Transitional errors, like the 1982 D copper small date worth $10,000 plus, occur when leftover planchets from an earlier composition are used. A 2011 penny on a copper planchet would be a major rarity, as the mint had fully transitioned to zinc by then. Such a coin, weighing 3.11 grams and showing a richer copper color, could fetch $50,000 to $100,000, especially if certified and in high grade. Another error is a die cap, where a planchet sticks to the die and strikes subsequent coins, forming a cap-like shape. A 1979 D Lincoln cent die cap cluster sold for $10,925 in 2012, and a 2011 die cap, especially a dramatic one with multiple strikes, could be worth $5,000 to $20,000. If a 2011 penny combined multiple errors, say, a gold planchet, double die obverse, and 70% off-center strike, it could be a singular marvel, justifying a $54 million valuation. The coin's value is driven by its rarity, condition, ideally MS67 red or higher, and the improbability of such errors escaping modern mint controls. Collectors pay premiums for uniqueness, and a 2011 penny with one or more of these errors, certified as unique, would be a numismatic masterpiece. The 1943 bronze cents $1.7 million sale and the 2001 D-Mules $114,000 sale show how rare errors command huge sums, and a 2011 penny with a gold planchet or extreme DDO could surpass these due to its modern rarity. The coin's journey from minting error to collector's treasure would captivate the numismatic world, with auction houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers buzzing over its sale. If you're as thrilled by these rare finds as we are, subscribe, hit the bell, and join our community to hunt for the next numismatic gem. Let's keep exploring the coins that turn cents into millions. Next, imagine stumbling across a penny in your pocket change, a seemingly ordinary 1999 D. Lincoln Memorial cent, struck at the Denver Mint, that could be worth a staggering $77 million due to a series of rare and fascinating minting errors and mistakes that transformed this humble 1-cent coin into a numismatic treasure of unparalleled value, a coin so extraordinary that it captivates collectors, historians, and investors alike, sparking intense bidding wars at auctions and fueling dreams of uncovering a fortune in everyday change. The 1999 D penny, part of the Lincoln Memorial cent series that ran from 1959 to 2008, is typically worth just its face value of 1 cent, but certain errors and varieties elevate specific examples to astronomical worth, with the $77 million valuation tied to a hypothetical combination of ultra-rare minting anomalies that make it a once-in-a-lifetime find. To understand why this coin could command such an extraordinary price, we need to delve into the intricate world of coin minting, the specific errors that can occur, and how these imperfections create a perfect storm of rarity and desirability. The Lincoln Memorial cent, designed by Victor David Brenner for the obverse and Frank Gasparo for the reverse, is a small coin, weighing 2.5 grams, measuring 19 millimeters in diameter, and composed of copper-plated zinc with a plain edge, struck in massive quantities, over 5.2 billion at the Denver Mint alone in 1999, making most examples common and unremarkable. However, the minting process is a complex dance of machinery, dies, and planchets, and when something goes awry, the resulting errors can turn a mundane penny into a collector's holy grail. One of the most significant errors associated with 1999 pennies is the wide AM variety, a subtle but highly sought-after design variation where the letters A and M in America on the reverse are spaced further apart than in the standard close AM configuration, a mistake caused by the accidental use of a proof die intended for special collector coins rather than circulation strikes. This wide AM error is rare for 1999 D pennies, with only a handful known to exist, and high-grade examples in mint state, MS, condition, particularly MS66 or above, can fetch thousands of dollars, with some estimates suggesting values up to $4,500 for pristine specimens due to their scarcity and collector demand. However, a $77 million valuation suggests something far more exceptional, possibly a unique combination of multiple errors on a single coin, amplifying its rarity to unprecedented levels. One possibility is a 1999 D penny struck on a wrong planchet, such as a copper planchet intended for a different denomination, like a dime or quarter, a type of error known as a wrong planchet or off-metal strike. For example, if a 1999 D penny was struck on a silver dime planchet, it would weigh approximately 2.27 grams instead of 2.5 grams and exhibit a silver-gray appearance, making it immediately distinguishable from standard zinc-based pennies. Such errors are exceedingly rare because the mint's quality control processes typically catch mismatched planchets, but a few escape into circulation, and their value can soar into the tens or hundreds of thousands, as seen with the 1943 bronze cent, which sold for $1.7 million due to its accidental use of a copper planchet during a year when steel was standard. If our hypothetical 1999 D penny combines a wrong planchet error with the wide AM variety, the rarity compounds, pushing its value higher. Another potential error contributing to the $77 million price tag could be a double die obverse or reverse, where the coin's design appears doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process, creating a visible duplication of elements like the date, Liberty, or the Lincoln Memorial's columns. The 1955 double-die Lincoln cent is a famous example, with high-grade examples valued at $125,000 or more, and a 1999 D penny with a dramatic double-die error, especially if paired with the wide AM and a wrong planchet, would be a numismatic unicorn. The doubling would be most noticeable under magnification, showing slight offsets in lettering or design elements, and collectors prize such errors for their visual drama and rarity, as only a small number of coins are struck before the faulty die is replaced. Additionally, an off-center strike, where the coin's design is misaligned by 50% or more, could further enhance the coin's uniqueness, especially if the date and mint mark remain visible, as this increases collectible value. For instance, a 1999 D penny struck 60% off-center, with Lincoln's portrait partially missing but the 1999 and D still legible, would be a striking error, potentially valued at $500 to $1,000 on its own, but when combined with other errors, it adds to the coin's allure. Another rare error could be a bonded cluster, where multiple planchets fuse together during striking, creating a mass of distorted coins, as seen in a 1979 D Lincoln cent cluster that sold for $10,925 at auction. A 1999 D penny involved in such a cluster, particularly if it includes the wide AM variety and a wrong planchet, would be a phenomenal rarity, potentially pushing its value into the millions. Furthermore, a broad strike error, where the coin is struck outside the retaining collar, resulting in a wider, thinner coin with a distorted rim, could add another layer of uniqueness, with high-grade broad strikes fetching $150 to $1,000 depending on condition and severity. The $77 million valuation likely hinges on a singular coin exhibiting a mule error, where the obverse and reverse dies are mismatched, such as a 1999 D penny obverse paired with a reverse from another denomination, like an Indian head cent or a Roosevelt dime, as described in some collector accounts. A 1999 D penny with an Indian head reverse wreath design, as mentioned in a query on a numismatic forum, would be an extraordinary mule error, as the Indian head cent was last struck in 1909, and such a mismatch would suggest an unprecedented minting mistake, possibly involving a test strike or a die mix-up that escaped detection. Mules are among the rarest and most valuable error coins, with a famous Sacagawea $/quarter mule fetching $192,000 at auction, and a 1999 D penny mule with an Indian head reverse could theoretically command millions due to its historical impossibility and collector fascination. If this mule also features the wide AM variety, a wrong planchet, a double die, and an off-center strike, the combination creates a coin so rare that it could justify a $77 million price tag in a heated auction environment, where billionaire collectors and institutions vie for the ultimate numismatic trophy. The condition of the coin is critical, as uncirculated coins graded MS67 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC command exponential premiums, with red, RD, pennies, those retaining 80 to 90% of their original copper luster, being the most desirable, as opposed to red-brown, RBN, or brown, BN, coins that show oxidation. A 1999 D penny with these errors in MS68 RD condition would be virtually flawless, with no contact marks, dings, or dents, making it a museum-quality piece. The rarity of such a coin is further amplified by the mint's rigorous quality control, which destroys most error coins before they leave the facility, meaning any 1999 D penny with multiple errors likely slip through by chance, perhaps hidden in a roll of coins released into circulation. The historical context of 1999 adds to the coin's mystique, as it marks the cusp of the millennium, a time when the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins to meet demand, increasing the likelihood of errors during high-speed production but also making surviving errors exceptionally scarce. Collectors value coins with a compelling story, and a 1999 D penny with a combination of a mule error, wide AM variety, wrong planchet, double die, off-center strike, and broad strike, all in pristine condition, tells a tale of minting chaos, human error, and serendipitous survival. The $77 million figure may also reflect speculative fervor, as seen in other high-profile coin sales, like the 1933 Double Eagle, which sold for $18.9 million, or the 1943 D bronze cent at $1.7 million, where rarity, historical significance, and collector competition drive prices to dizzying heights. To identify such a valuable 1999 D penny, collectors should use a loupe or magnifying lens to check for the wide AM spacing, where the A and M are distinctly separated, and the FG initials, for Frank Gasparo, are closer to the Lincoln Memorial than in the close AM variety. They should also examine the coin's weight and color for signs of a wrong planchet, such as a silver hue indicating a dime planchet, and inspect for doubling in the date, Liberty, or Memorial columns, as well as any off-center design or broadened rims. Apps like Coin ID Scanner can assist in spotting these errors, providing real-time analysis and pricing data, but professional grading by PCGS or NGC is essential to authenticate and value such a coin. The $77 million valuation assumes a unique specimen, possibly the only one of its kind, with a combination of errors so rare that it defies probability, akin to finding a needle in a haystack. While most 1999 D pennies are worth a cent, the possibility of discovering one with these extraordinary errors keeps collectors scouring pocket change, coin rolls, and estate sales, driven by the dream of uncovering a numismatic masterpiece. The allure of such a coin lies not only in its monetary value but also in its story, a testament to the imperfections of the minting process, the vigilance of collectors, and the enduring fascination with Lincoln cents, which have been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1909, when Theodore Roosevelt championed their creation to honor Abraham Lincoln's centennial. This 1999 D penny, with its hypothetical constellation of errors, represents the pinnacle of modern error coin collecting, a field where mistakes are celebrated, and a single cent can become a multi-million-dollar legacy, inspiring both novice and seasoned numismatists to keep searching for that one-in-a-billion treasure hidden in plain sight. Next, picture yourself sifting through a jar of loose change, pulling out a 1993 D Lincoln Memorial cent, a seemingly unremarkable penny struck at the Denver Mint, only to discover that this tiny coin could be worth an astonishing $33 million due to a rare confluence of minting errors and mistakes that transform it into a numismatic gem. A one-of-a-kind treasure that ignites the imagination of collectors, sparks frenzied bidding wars at auctions, and fuels the dreams of anyone who's ever hoped to find a fortune in their pocket change. The 1993 D penny, part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Cent series designed by Victor David Brenner for the obverse and Frank Gasparo for the reverse, is a small coin, 19 millimeters in diameter, weighing 2.5 grams, made of copper-plated zinc with a plain edge, produced in massive quantities, with over 6.4 billion struck at the Denver Mint in 1993, making most examples worth exactly 1 cent. Yet, certain rare errors and varieties elevate specific 1993 D pennies to extraordinary value, with a hypothetical $33 million price tag suggesting a unique combination of minting anomalies that make it one of the rarest coins in modern numismatics. To understand why this penny could command such a staggering sum, we must explore the intricate world of coin production, the specific errors that can occur, and how these imperfections create a perfect storm of rarity, desirability, and historical significance. The minting process is a complex operation involving planchets, blank metal discs, dies, engraved metal stamps that impart the coin's design, and high-speed presses, and when errors occur, they can produce coins that are both visually striking and extraordinarily scarce. One of the most coveted errors associated with 1993 pennies is the close AM variety, a subtle but highly valuable design variation where the letters A and M in America on the reverse are nearly touching, a configuration typically seen in proof coins rather than circulation strikes. This close AM error on a 1993 D penny is exceptionally rare, as the standard reverse for 1993 circulation coins features the wide AM, where the A and M are spaced further apart. Only a handful of 1993 D close AM pennies are known to exist, and high-grade examples in mint state, MS, condition, particularly MS 65 or above, can fetch thousands of dollars, with some estimates suggesting values up to $20,000 for pristine specimens due to their extreme scarcity and collector demand. However, a $33 million valuation points to something far more extraordinary, likely a 1993 D penny exhibiting multiple rare errors in combination, creating a coin so unique that it stands alone in the numismatic world. One such error could be a wrong planchet strike, where the penny is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination, such as a dime, quarter, or even a foreign coin. For instance, if a 1993 D penny was struck on a silver dime planchet, it would weigh approximately 2.27 grams instead of 2.5 grams and display a silver-gray color, making it immediately distinguishable from standard zinc-based pennies. Wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare because the U.S. Mint's quality control processes are designed to prevent such mismatches, but a few coins slip through, and their value can soar into the hundreds of thousands, as seen with the 1943 bronze cent, which sold for $1.7 million due to its accidental use of a copper planchet during a year when steel was standard. A 1993 D penny struck on a dime planchet, combined with the close AM variety, would be a phenomenal find, pushing its value significantly higher. Another potential error contributing to the $33 million price tag could be a double die obverse or reverse, where the coin's design appears doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process, creating a visible duplication of elements like the date, Liberty, or the Lincoln Memorial's columns. The 1969 double die Lincoln cent is a famous example, with high-grade examples valued at over $100,000, and a 1993 D penny with a dramatic double die error, especially if paired with the close AM and a wrong planchet, would be a numismatic marvel. The doubling would be most noticeable under magnification, showing slight offsets in lettering or design elements, and collectors prize such errors for their visual appeal and rarity, as only a small number of coins are struck before the faulty die is replaced or repaired. An off-center strike, where the coin's design is misaligned by 50% or more, could further enhance the coin's uniqueness, particularly if the date and D mint mark remain visible, as this increases collectible value. For example, a 1993 D penny struck 60% off-center, with Lincoln's portrait partially missing but the 1993 and D still legible, would be a striking error, potentially valued at $500 to $2,000 on its own, but when combined with other errors, it adds to the coin's allure. Another rare error could involve a multiple strike, where the coin is struck more than once by the dies, creating overlapping images of the design. A 1993 D penny with a triple or quadruple strike, showing multiple impressions of Lincoln's portrait or the memorial, would be extraordinarily rare, as multiple strikes require the coin to remain in the press through several cycles, a malfunction that occurs infrequently. Such errors can fetch thousands of dollars, as seen with a 1983 Lincoln cent with a multiple strike that sold for $7,500 at auction. If our hypothetical 1993 D penny combines a multiple strike with the close AM, a wrong planchet, and a double die error, the rarity compounds exponentially. Another possibility is a broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, resulting in a wider, thinner coin with a distorted rim. Broad strikes are visually striking and can fetch $200 to $1,500 depending on condition and severity, but in combination with other errors, their value increases significantly. A particularly intriguing error could be a transitional error, where a 1993 D penny is struck on a planchet or with a die from a different year or series, such as a copper planchet from the pre-1982 era when pennies were 95% copper and weighed 3.11 grams. A 1993 D penny struck on a pre-1982 copper planchet would be heavier and exhibit a richer copper hue, making it a rare transitional error, potentially worth $10,000 to $50,000 on its own, but when paired with the close AM and other errors, it becomes a numismatic masterpiece. The $33 million valuation likely hinges on a mule error, where the obverse and reverse dies are mismatched, such as a 1993 D penny obverse paired with a reverse from another denomination, like a Roosevelt dime or an Indian head cent, which was last struck in 1909. A mule error involving an Indian head reverse, as speculated in some numismatic discussions, would be an extraordinary anomaly, suggesting a test strike or a die mix-up that escaped the mint's detection. Mules are among the rarest error coins, with a Sacagawea $/quarter mule selling for $192,000 at auction, and a 1993 D penny mule with an Indian head reverse would command millions due to its historical impossibility and collector fascination. If this mule also features the close AM variety, a wrong planchet, a double die, an off-center strike, and a broad strike, the combination creates a coin so rare that it could justify a $33 million price tag in a competitive auction environment, where billionaire collectors, museums, and investors compete for a piece of numismatic history. The condition of the coin is paramount, as uncirculated coins graded MS66 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC command exponential premiums, with red, RD, pennies, those retaining 80 to 90% of their original copper luster, being the most desirable, compared to red-brown, RBN, or brown, BN, coins that show oxidation. A 1993 D penny with these errors in MS67 RD condition would be nearly flawless, with no visible contact marks, scratches, or wear, making it a museum-quality piece. The rarity of such a coin is amplified by the mint's stringent quality control, which destroys most error coins before they leave the facility, meaning any 1993 D penny with multiple errors likely escaped by chance, perhaps hidden in a roll of coins released into circulation. The year 1993 adds to the coin's allure, as it was a time of economic stability and high mintage, increasing the likelihood of errors during high-speed production but also making surviving errors exceptionally scarce. Collectors are drawn to coins with a compelling narrative, and a 1993 D penny with a combination of a mule error, close AM variety, wrong planchet, double die, off-center strike, multiple strike, and broad strike, all in pristine condition, tells a story of minting chaos, human oversight, and serendipitous survival. The $33 million figure may reflect speculative fervor, similar to other high-profile coin sales, such as the 1933 Double Eagle at $18.9 million or the 1794 Flowing Hair Silver Dollar at $10 million, where rarity, historical significance, and collector competition drive prices to extraordinary levels. To identify such a valuable 1993 D penny, collectors should use a loupe or magnifying lens to check for the close AM variety, where the A and M in America are nearly touching, and the FG initials, for Frank Gasparo, are farther from the Lincoln Memorial than in the wide AM variety. They should also examine the coin's weight, color, and diameter for signs of a wrong planchet, such as a silver hue indicating a dime planchet or a heavier weight suggesting a pre-1982 copper planchet, and inspect for doubling in the date, Liberty, or Memorial columns, as well as any off-center design, multiple strikes, or broadened rims. Tools like the Coin ID Scanner app can assist in spotting these errors, providing real-time analysis and pricing data, but professional grading by PCGS or NGC is essential to authenticate and value such a coin. The $33 million valuation assumes a singular specimen, possibly the only one of its kind, with a combination of errors so rare that it defies probability, akin to winning a cosmic lottery. While most 1993 D pennies are worth a cent, the possibility of discovering one with these extraordinary errors keeps collectors searching through coin rolls, bank bags, and estate sales, driven by the dream of uncovering a numismatic masterpiece. The allure of such a coin lies not only in its monetary value but also in its story, a testament to the imperfections of the minting process, the vigilance of collectors, and the enduring fascination with Lincoln cents, which have been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1909, when they were introduced to honor Abraham Lincoln's centennial. The 1993 D penny, with its hypothetical constellation of errors, represents the zenith of modern-era coin collecting, a field where mistakes are celebrated, and a single cent can become a multi-million-dollar legacy, inspiring both novice and seasoned numismatists to keep searching for that one-in-a-billion treasure hidden in plain sight. The hunt for such a coin is a journey of patience and precision, as collectors must differentiate between common die varieties, wear patterns, and post-mint damage, which can mimic valuable errors but lack their worth. For instance, a doubled appearance caused by machine doubling, a post-strike distortion, rather than a true double die error is far less valuable, and collectors must consult resources like the Cherry Picker's Guide to Rare Die Varieties to distinguish genuine errors. The 1993 D penny's potential errors also evoke comparisons to other legendary era coins, such as the 1958 double die cent, which sold for $1.136 million, or the 1970 small date/high 7 penny, valued at $18,000 in high grades, underscoring the premium placed on rarity and condition. The mint's production environment in 1993, with its high-speed presses and automated sorting, was designed to minimize errors, yet human oversight and mechanical quirks allowed a select few to escape, each one a snapshot of a fleeting moment when the mint's precision faltered. The $33 million valuation also reflects the growing popularity of era coin collecting, fueled by online platforms, coin shows, and social media, where collectors share discoveries and drive demand for unique specimens. A 1993 D penny with these errors would likely attract global attention, appearing in numismatic journals, auction catalogs, and YouTube channels dedicated to coin hunting, further amplifying its value. The coin's historical context, struck during the early 1990s, a period of technological advancement and economic optimism, adds a layer of cultural significance, as it captures a moment when the U.S. Mint was balancing tradition with modernization. The Lincoln cent itself is a symbol of American resilience, featuring Lincoln's stoic profile and the iconic memorial reverse, a design that resonates with collectors who see it as a tangible link to history. A 1993 D penny with such a rare combination of errors would not only be a financial windfall but also a cultural artifact, worthy of display in institutions like the Smithsonian or private collections of the world's wealthiest numismatists. The dream of finding such a coin drives countless hobbyists to examine every penny they encounter, from cash registers to coin jars, knowing that a single error-filled cent could rewrite their future. The $33 million price tag, while speculative, is plausible in a market where rarity, condition, and story converge to create numismatic legends, making the 1993 D penny a shining example of how the smallest coin can hold the greatest value when fate, error, and opportunity align.